Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Freeman Files here on the J-Free 906 podcast channel. Tom Burns, Seth Bridges here with me tonight. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
Awesome. Well, I tell you what, we waited a long time. Season 13 premiere came out last night, and man, it was a good one. I was happy with it.
There's lots to cover, pun intended.
So much Oak Island.
Yeah, I know, right? There was 3 hours of Curse of Oak Island last night, and we are going to cover all of it, as we often do with the season premiere and Matty Blake's drilling down. We're going to cover that first. We're going to kind of go through much of the drilling down because, quite honestly, I felt that the drilling down actually gave us more content than the show itself.
Mm-hmm.
So we could not pass that up.
That was a lot of information last night.
It was a lot of information. It really was.
Yeah. There's always that teaser of them. Okay, Matty, are you ready? And this was the best one yet. I think.
They showed him like 5 things or something.
Yeah, and each one would have been worthy of being, cool. That's what we show you on this drilling down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that one. They gave him that little box, and then that little white box, and he took the lid off, and he was like, "Oh," he goes, "I wish I could show this to you guys," but and it was, I think that was that copper plate.
I think it was, yeah.
I think that was that copper plate they found. Anyway, we're going to be talking about that a little bit tonight too. So thank you for joining us, folks. We really appreciate that. We're going to be going through all of, like I said, the drilling down and the season premiere of The Curse of Oak Island tonight. And like I say, as I always say at the beginning, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you do, click on that notification bell, because when Tom and Seth and I, we get some really cool information, we may go live at any time with like a news at noon or anything like that to come out and give you guys some information about stuff or little clips that we come up with from time to time. And at the end, if you like the content of the show we do for you here tonight, please consider giving us a thumbs up. Give us a like. It really helps with all the YouTube algorithms and such. And I also wanted to extend a big thank you to all those who help support the show. Several patrons on Patreon, and I get people that help out through Venmo or PayPal or stuff from time to time. Thank you so very much. It really helps to keep this going and all of that, because unfortunately it does cost money.
You still got great hats for sale too, right?
Yes, I do. I have hats and hoodies and things like that. I can do shirts and stuff like that for you too. It's all available on the website jfree906.com. We've added a new thing on there. We're going to be at some point. We kind of put a poll out to our Facebook group and asked people about what other show would you like us to cover, because some people really enjoy the way we cover these shows, and we kind of dig into it and get the folks from the show to come on and talk to us and things like that. So we may take on Blind Frog Ranch. I don't know if any of you out there are interested in that show. We have a very good friend by the names of James Keenan, who is part of that show now. He's done the last couple seasons. Him and I have been talking quite a bit. So yeah, we're probably going to cover that show coming up here in the future. So
cool. I like that show.
Do you? All right.
It is a very good show. Yep.
Yeah, I enjoy it too. So so we're gonna be adventuring in it. It won't probably be. We're gonna have to kind of cover the first few seasons, because obviously they're just filmed season 6. So we're going to cover the first 5 in a couple of episodes or a couple of podcasts. We'll kind of get through those and do our thing with that, and then get ready for, I think it's going to be May, I think, when season 6 comes out, something like that.
If I'm not mistaken, that's the one show that History does actually air in Canada and the USA on the same night.
Okay.
There
cool.
you go.
Yes, and thank you, Linders. Yep.
What
Just to be super clear. Yep.
What I like about that show, it's got pretty close proximity to the ranch. It's in the general area, and it really showed me what was possible in terms of like underground tunnels and natural rivers. It's cool. It's a good show. They've got some interesting stuff under the ground. Yep.
And it's a treasure hunt. It's a search for Aztec treasure. So that's really why it's part of the Lost Treasures of North America portion of the podcast, which is also what The Curse of Oak Island is also about. So, all right, 31 miles from Skinwalker Ranch. Yes, it is.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so if you're interested in that, we're probably not going to get started till after the first of the year with it, but stay tuned and we'll get started. All right, so let's jump into it for tonight. We have, like as I said, we're going to be talking a bit about drilling down first because it had so much really good content in the show. I was really impressed with everything that was happening in there. And this car. I mean, we saw this car. Actually, I saw this car sitting parked up by the interpretive center, or by the trailers there when we did our Oak Island tour with in the trams. So we got a chance to see this car. I kind of walked over and checked it out a little bit. It was pretty neat. It's a Buick, right? And I forgot the year. Do you remember what year?
1940, I think they said. I can't remember, but I think it said 40.
Yeah, that's a cool car.
A beautiful
1940 Buick. Yep.
Yeah, 1940 Buick. There we go. So so there it is, cruising around, and I grabbed this picture here, looking at the money pit, because you see the money pit. This is August time frame.
Yep.
When Matty was there, and some of this equipment is just showing up at the island. Yeah, 1940 Buick Special, gorgeous. Yeah, it was. So the equipment for the guys, Choice Drilling, has been there for a while. When did Choice Drilling get on the island?
Choice, according to my notes, Choice showed up on May 30th.
Mm-hmm. So they had time to get some work done.
And then in towards the end of June, they actually put the pumps in the swamp.
Mm-hmm.
The tram cars that they used for the tours, they arrived the end of June. Mm-hmm. And the drill equipment started to arrive the first 2 weeks of July. The wash plant was towards the end of July. Mm-hmm. The long reach excavator was the end of July. Even up until August, the drill rig just sat there. I mean, August 11th is when the cranes and the heavy equipment started to show up.
Yeah.
So we're talking, August 11th or later for that. So middle of August.
Yep. And that's about the same time that Matty was there. So he went there to do his thing for getting ready for the start of the season.
Yeah, because he did say it was mid-season.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Rick did say that.
Yep.
And I wanted to look at this too, out the window as he was driving around. Me, I'm always looking in the background to see what's going on. And there it is. Some of the equipment is still showing up there. They probably had him wait on the side of the road there so Matty could come by and they could film that whole thing. But yeah, there's caissons showing up still at the island. So all that stuff is just now showing up there. Here in this picture of the money pit, and again, I'm always looking for little tidbits of stuff here. And I noticed, well, at first I thought, where in the heck is TOT1? We know that when they were drilling, initially, when Choice got out there and they were doing their drill program, they started off drilling right next to TOT1. You could see the caisson still sticking up out of the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it? If I'm thinking about this correctly, it should be sitting. I got to get my pointer. Hold on a second. Let me grab my pointer here. Wish I had one of those fancy engineer people. All right, here we go. Let's get this going here. So one of the things I noticed about this, the pointer, darn it, why is this giving me fits here? Hold on a second. There we go. All right, so back to this picture. Now I was looking for TOT1. Now you think, well, maybe they took it out of the ground. They couldn't have taken it out of the ground because the oscillator's not there yet, unless they got some other means of getting it out of the ground.
Good point.
I mean, I don't know if this rig over here can take it out of the ground. That I'm not sure of. This deal here. But my thinking is TOT1 should be somewhere right about there. Yep. So what happened to it?
I don't know. If you look at the bottom left-hand corner of that screen, that brown caisson standing up there.
Yeah, right here.
Right there. That looks like, I mean, they're all the same color. They're all got a brown color tinge to them. But it's just funny that all the other caissons, tall ones, are laying down over on the right-hand side. They got one standing up here. And we saw those acetylene tanks a couple of weeks ago that were sitting down there all by themselves. Did they chop the top off it and just swing it over there with the crane?
I think they did. I think they cut the top off it. I think that TOT1 at this point is still in the ground, which is a good thing, I think.
Yeah.
C1 is still in the ground.
C1's still there. Yeah, C1's still in the ground.
So what they did was they cut it off below the surface and put a lid on it. And I don't know if they welded a lid on it or whatever, but they put a lid on it and then covered it back up so that it could get the crane and everything else in there.
Well, look at that blue case on over on the left-hand side of your screen. It's already got a lid of some sort on it.
I thought that was it at first. I'm thinking, oh man, maybe that's it right there over here on the side.
Yeah.
But
no, but you can see the top and bottom. That's a short, one of those little short 4 or 5
yeah,
case
and it's
on.
not attached to anything. You can see the holes
It's
there.
just sitting there. Yeah.
So I'm thinking it was right here. And
just
they've got
right on the other side of that fencing. Yeah.
Yeah. I think so too. But anyway, just one of those little interesting tidbits. So it makes me wonder, is TOT1 still in the ground today? Is it still in there? Remember, that was their first access down into the solution channel, was TOT1. So anyway.
And that drilling that they did all around TOT1 would have been in May, not in August.
Right. That's correct. Yep.
Right.
Because you see Choice isn't even there now. They're gone.
They're
Here
gone.
we are in August.
But
They're not even
the Choice drill program was before any of this stuff showed up.
Yep.
Right. So they had lots of time to cut that off and move it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. So some of the things that they said that they found, and they were showing these pieces to Matty Blake when he was there, were these pieces here. There were some things found in there. And this, I believe this was found in the spoils of TOT1 over by the wash plant. Is that correct, Tom?
Yeah.
Seth?
2024 spoils. Yeah.
Right. Then they had these two things laying there on that table, and we're going to talk about this for a minute here. So, and Tom marked these here for us. That's got to be a casing, right?
Yeah, that's a searcher drill casing. I was trying to type and move stuff around watching the show last night, and I omitted putting casing in.
Yep.
But yeah, it's part of the searcher drill setup. Yeah. And
that's about 2 inches. Was it? Did
yeah, they were generally, if you go back and look in some of the books, a lot of those drill programs, they would dig the shaft down, say in this case 30 feet, which is where the water table is, right? Money pit's 30 feet above sea level. You go down 30 feet, you're going to hit water, right? That's simple math.
Yep.
And then they would set their drill platform up and drill. And they didn't do that in all cases, but I think in this case, that's what they did.
That was interesting. They mentioned that last night, and that's the first time I had heard that. That they went down 30 feet and set it up a platform.
That's not uncommon. Yeah.
Drilled from there. I had no idea that they had done that. So when we go along here tonight, we'll talk about this a little bit more probably, but so they're pretty, positive. Okay, that's part of, I think Emma did some analysis on these two pieces, and they determined that was definitely searcher. Obviously, it was a drill casing. And this other piece was depositor. Yeah. Because of its age.
Its age. There's no alloys in it or anything like that. So it's too old.
So in the spoils of TOT1, as they were approaching the bedrock layer before they got into the solution channel, and here's this old piece. All right. Now, folks, this is one of those times where I say, and I repeat myself here for the sake of repeating, that, people often comment about, oh, they never find anything important. Oh my gosh, they keep bringing up this stupid, wood or spikes or whatever. Folks, this is why these things are important, because this thing dates to prior to the discovery of the money pit in the first place. So why is that underground? Does that give us proof that there was people underground prior to 1795 working down there doing something? Yes, it does.
What drives me nuts is, why was it 180 feet under the ground?
Exactly.
Why was it 18 stories underground?
Yeah, 18
or 15 stories, whatever how many stories you want to put on it. Why was it that far underground?
Yeah.
Who was down there?
Yeah. Who was down there, Seth?
and what were they doing?
The Templars?
Yes.
There we go. Mystery solved.
Yep. Mystery solved. All right. Have fun.
Yeah, it was the Templars, and they were depositing, biblical items of power like the staff and the menorah and other artifacts. Maybe the Ark of the Covenant for a brief moment, and then lots of gold, lots of coins.
Yeah,
but it started with the Templars, and then, no, I'm kidding. I'll stop.
It was automated Templar machine, ATM.
Exactly. There we go.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's why these things are important. Is it the treasure? No. Do they want the treasure? Heck yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah, you want the
it
treasure.
does give them the power or the encouragement to keep going, because why else? Why would that be down there? Something that old, that deep in the money pit tells you that people were down there. So you have to keep going at that point. And then they talked about these, and we kind of we did a show. Tom and I did a little show, News at Noon, talking about this drill, these augers showing up, and you see how many they got there. And these things, you look at them and you're like, wow, those are pretty big. And they got all those carbide teeth all the way around them, pretty massive things. And then you had Matty walked over there to stand next to it, and
wow,
and Matty's over 6 foot tall, and that those are big.
Those are 7 foot across, 7 feet
Yeah.
across. Yep.
Yeah, those are big, and they weigh a lot. And I'm glad, we talked about the fact that, the hammer grab, the difference between using the hammer grab, and they explained this very well on the show last night. I thought the difference between using the hammer grab and using one of these augers. The hammer grab, as you know, goes down, and they let it kind of drop down there so it digs into the dirt and scoop up what's down there and bring it back up. Every time you do that, you're banging the bottom of that. And as we heard last season, toward the end of the season, about the plug that fell out.
Yep.
Because they were hammering that with that hammer grab to try to get the dirt and everything and get through the rock. And they broke through into the solution channel, and was the treasure there? Did it go through at that point? I don't think so, because they did try to do a little airlifting there, and they didn't come up with any coinage or anything like that. But you see the problem with using that versus something like this. And they showed it how, matter of fact, I think I have a couple of pictures here. There's one there. Shows how it screws itself down into the dirt, and then they can bring it up a lot better. A treasure chest would fit between those blades. Yes, it yeah, it would actually. A treasure chest, depending upon its size, but yeah, it would, huh?
Some barrels, they'll fit through there.
Barrels, a vault.
You keep in mind how much gold or silver weighs, and you're not going to have a box that's 3 feet high. In order for someone to carry it, the box could be a maximum of maybe top 8, 12, 10 inches thick.
Yeah.
Right? The weight would just, one person, 2 people couldn't carry it. It'd just be too heavy.
That makes sense.
Absolutely. Unless you had several of them and you took them all down and stored them in a vault that you created down there. Yeah.
Could be 15 or 20 of them down there. Oh yeah.
And think about that too. So there's Lisa Bates says the vault was 7 foot tall, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was. That's what they had projected based upon I think it was the chapel drilling, when they said they went into a vault and they had a
hit 2 layers of something empty, hit another layer. Yeah.
Yep. And so, that would come out to be, but think about it. Would there be a vault down there? Yes, I think there would be. They're not going to, I don't think they're going to just take these chests and set them on the wet ground down there inside they're going to build a wooden room to house these things in.
Especially if there's artifacts.
Especially if they're religious artifacts, very high importance. So, yeah, that's very true. Johnny said movie treasure chests are extremely overweight. Yeah, they put those. There would not be that much in it. You wouldn't be able
there's no way you could pick them up.
Absolutely not. This was an interesting piece, and we've talked about that big drum. And I'm going to go back a couple of pictures here. This piece that's behind Matty right here. It has augers, blade, or whatever you call those on the sides of it, but it's a big container. So if you get down into the bottom of the solution channel, then you would use this thing to go down to the bottom and then swirl it around and scoop up whatever's there and bring it out inside the container. So that makes this right here. That's what this is. So it's going down there and hitting the bottom and then scooping up whatever is down there. So, I think this was the right approach. This was the right way, the right equipment to use at this particular time. And you heard Marty make that comment last night. If you were listening, he made a comment. He said, we're learning as we go.
Mhm.
So, I mean, 13 years into this, they've been on there, they've been part of this Oak Island search for 20 years. So have they been digging for 20 years? No, but they have been there, a part of this and stuff for 20 years. And they're learning as they go.
And this whole auger casing, whatever they call that thing, is all designed around not driving that stuff down into a solutions channel.
Yeah.
Right. They want to be able to bore down through and have a clear space beneath them and be able to pick up if it's muddy or mucky or whatever. They want to be able to pick it up and not drive it someplace else.
Right. Exactly. So that I'm glad they walked us through this. I'm really glad that Matty, part of his deal of being there was to walk us through these pieces, because I had not been part of this. I'm not a driller, so I had no idea. I know what an auger does. But I mean, I'm glad he walked us through these pieces, because it gave us a better understanding of what they do, what their purpose is. And I think they're applying the right pieces at this time. Would we love to see them do a big dig and freeze the ground and dig a great big 150-foot diameter hole and 200 feet deep? Yeah, I would.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine how much that would cost? Yeah.
Billions.
Yes. Thank you. So that was really cool. And I was really glad that, again, like I said, that they took us all through that. One thing too, I wanted to note while we were talking about this is what Dr. Ian Spooner had said. And this is a quote from him during the show. Precious metals, new techniques. There's still precious metals. He was asked about the precious metals. He said, new techniques, and we learned that the metals are still there. Could be coming from deeper than we thought.
Mm-hmm. Which tells me they've been continuing to test those extra plastic pipes that were left in the ground. They've been testing.
Yep.
That was pretty good to hear.
Yeah, it was. So, and that whole bit, we've had him on, and I've talked to him personally about the whole Gerhardt truckload of silver. He kind of got cornered into that statement when the way he was asked about it. But does he really believe that there's a Gerhardt truckload? I don't know. I don't think there's that much on there. But
think about what Steve said last night. When it comes to the solutions channel, they've explored less than 5% of it.
Yes.
So there's lots of room.
That was interesting. Funny noises coming from over there, and there's a door. Anyway, so 5% of the solution channel has been explored, because remember, and this was something that kept getting Tom and I kind of frustrated, and probably Seth and many of you out there as well, is when they were drilling or putting caissons down, they get to the bedrock and stop. They would go down, 100 and some feet or whatever, and boom, oh, that's it. Pull out, we're done. We'll go pick another hole. And we kept saying, no, you got to go deeper. So now, Kat.
Yeah, it was good to hear them multiple times stress. We're going at least 200 feet. We're getting, getting to the bottom of it, so to speak. But yeah, Jack said it, Steve, maybe Steve. But anyways, it was, I'm glad they stressed that.
The target range is 210 feet.
Yeah, down to 210 feet. So good stuff on that part. I'm really glad to see them doing this year, because they're convinced now, because they Swiss cheese the heck out of the money pit to begin with, up to that bedrock point. And as Tom said, 5%. So the solution channel, free flowing water, or is it sludge? I think it's sludge.
I think it's a combination of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a flow to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some
There's
sort.
Supposed to be, yeah.
And then there's pressure, because they get the water that shoots out of the sonic drill whenever they get near the garden shaft.
Yeah, and when they bring up the hammer grab, they're bringing water with it. So we know there's water down there.
Yeah. If you notice too, if you caught it, one of the points where they were drilling, I think this was when they were drilling an H.5-8.5, when they were drilling, and they you know how when they pull it up and then they get the water that shoots up like you just mentioned, and all this, and they brown water, all this brown yucky water came out of there, and you heard Terry Matheson say at that point, oh, we're in the solution channel for sure now, based upon that. So I would think it'd be a muddy slurry of,
hopefully not too much like Aladdin's cave, huh?
Oh yeah, I know. Don't bring up Aladdin's cave.
Well, hopefully it's not Aladdin's cave 2.0. We get down in, we're in the solution channel, and then, well, we can't see anything. So
I'm still I know, right? I'm still so disappointed about Aladdin's cave. So we're gonna breeze over and we're gonna keep going, because I don't want to get all caught up in that whole thing. So anyway, so really good stuff happening out there. I think, and again, I go back. There's so many reasons to be excited about season 13. Boy, I really am, based upon what I heard from them when we did the Oak Island convention and they were talking to us about this, Laird and Ian and all them, and then seeing this, I'm really excited. I think this is going to be a banner year for things that they've found. And also there was that point where, it was, you had mentioned Rick saying something about halfway through the season. And they talked to Matty about that, and they said halfway through the season, and we've already found more artifacts this year halfway through the season than we did in all the full seasons of any past year. And they're only halfway through at that point. So what does that tell you? All right, so let's jump over. They took them then over to lot 5, and I believe this is a new feature on lot 5. I originally was confused. We were in Discord talking last night a little bit, and I think it was Maya had asked and said something about this and how they had found it. And I said, I think it's because Katya had found this area with metal detecting. No, that was incorrect, and I apologize. It was because Fiona had said that there was this rock feature. Part of these rocks were sticking up out of the ground, and it just looked odd. So they decided to go check it out. And then as they were exploring this area here, they found these. And Tom, I'm going to let you talk about this for a minute, because, Steve was calling this something else.
Well, it's pits and mounds, which is basically an ancient way of marking a location. So it's the old circle and a dot theory, that you put your main stone in the middle, surrounded by a bunch of other rocks, which is why Fiona said they're going to leave half of it intact so you get the mirror image of it. But it was initially a rock in one of these boulders in the center. So they cut it off, let it fall over. Then they surrounded it with other rocks. And that was a survey marker. That was a starting point or a waypoint for a survey of some sort.
Right. Joanna, thank you so very much. I appreciate that. Thank you, Joanna. It's very nice of you.
It dates back as far as the Romans and the Vikings using that type of marker.
So, and I was wondering, had they looked on this well enough to see, was there we just had the guys from Oak Island Plus, James McQuiston, author James McQuiston, and Doc Hamels on, and we were talking about how they kind of blew my hopes away for the 8 stone and what they were talking about it being a survey marker.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, was there any kind of marking like that on these stones here? Was there any kind of a circle with a dot in the middle carved onto it, or that X with the 4 dots, like they were talking about? They never mentioned anything about it, so I doubt that there was. Or they would have looked.
You can see in this is one stone that was split, right? There was one stone split, and that's what formed the L. Let that one half fall into the pit, and it kept the other part straight up. And you can see on the top of the one that's straight up, you can see where the stone drill or chisel went in to split it. You can see on the top of that stone there, you can see the indentations, the one on the right, standing straight up and down.
Yeah, this one here?
Yeah. It was a different angle. I saw it yesterday, but you could see on it where the stone chisel had gone in to split it.
Right.
Then it just fell over flat in the hole.
So thinking about that, if this was a marker, a survey marker of some sort, and I don't know that they have pulled out too many artifacts out of this yet, out of this area, but what do you think it would be marking? What survey? I mean, would this go back to Ball's time or prior to that, you think?
Oh, it was long before Samuel Ball. Yeah.
So what do you think it would be marking.
Goodness knows.
Yeah.
Goodness
Yeah, I
knows.
would
Go ahead. I was going to say it might be speculation for another show, but go ahead.
I mean, it's a waypoint for something.
Yes. What do you think, Seth?
I was going to agree with Tom pretty much. And on one of them, I felt like I saw what looked like a menorah on one of the rocks as they were panning away.
Oh.
And I don't know, maybe it didn't quite look like a carving, so it might have just been the way one of the rocks looked in that particular shot.
Oh, was it white lines?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I saw those too. There were some funny. I didn't know if that was maybe from somebody trying to roll it over or get them out of the way, and they were scraping it up with the pry bar, or maybe the mini excavator coming over and picking it up or something.
Oh, the one that was laying flat, the white lines
it
on
had
it.
white lines scraped on it.
Yeah, it kind of looked like a menorah.
Could have been, but to me they looked like excavator grab marks.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of what I thought at first.
Well, they pulled it up out of the hole.
Yeah, but a menorah is much more cool.
I like Seth's
yeah, it would be.
But an interesting little feature there that they had come across, which was kind of cool to find. And then there was this. And remember what I'm gonna pat myself on the back a little bit, just simply because I was so excited about Lot 8. Remember how I kept talking about Lot 8 when I was on the tram during the tour of Oak Island, and they wouldn't let us take any pictures down there. They were very hush hush about it. Nothing to see here. Let's go on to, around the corner to the swamp. And I'm like, oh, wait. Lot 8. There's something going on.
What's with the pile of rocks in the background?
I think,
Tom.
Yeah.
I noticed that too. Is that them removing it? It doesn't seem like they would move them that far. So is that another structure? Is that whoever made this feature dropped those rocks over there? Is that the glacial till that they removed? That Laird talked about. It looks like they're all the same size, all pretty big rocks.
Mm-hmm. I think these were all put around this area.
They could have been. Yeah.
They moved them. They moved them out of here. So yeah, this is significant, folks. And I still think that there's more coming. Well, obviously there is going to be more coming from this particular feature. They're going to learn more about this particular feature as they go.
Absolutely.
Remember, this is August when they got to this point here.
And at the end of the show, where they should give you that one little screen grab of the camera shot from inside it. So yeah,
exactly. And we'll get to that too.
We'll get to that. But yeah, there's more. I mean, that's just not natural. You can tell by looking at it, it's not natural.
No, it's not. And
there's no glacial till or soil around it.
Yeah.
Which if it had been brought there and dropped there and deposited by a glacier, that till would have been all around it, right?
Exactly.
But it's not there.
Yeah. And there was how many archaeologists working this site? There was Laird and like 3 others.
Yeah, Ethan was there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And all of them were very this is something special.
Yes, you were. Now remember Lot 8. Now Lot 8 has been on the radar before, and I just had that one screenshot here. I got showing you some of the things. They found that keyhole plate off of a chest or a cabinet or a door or something it was on. They found that on Lot 8. That was one of the finds. They found that garnet on Lot 8.
Mm-hmm.
It turned out to be a semi-precious garnet that they found when Gary and Rick were out. And also that copper plate that we had just talked about early on that was in that box that they showed to Matty a couple seasons ago. That copper plate that had been folded over a couple of times was also found on Lot 8.
Yep.
So this isn't the first time. Go ahead, Tom.
And Samuel Ball bought Lot 8 3 years after the money pit was discovered.
Why do you think he'd want Lot 8? I mean,
I have no idea. There's nothing on it.
Right. What else did he buy about that time?
Yeah, well, he bought Lot 8, but he didn't buy anything. He didn't go into a land buying spree until after he bought Lot 8. So whether he found enough stuff on Lot 8 to finance future endeavors, I don't know.
So was Lot 32 after Lot 8?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Lot 25 and 26 were the first ones he bought. Then he bought Hook Island, which was just off of Oak Island. But then he bought Lot 8 That was in 1798, and after that, he made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more lot purchases after that. Now spread out over, many years.
Yep.
But he didn't really take a real interest in being a major shareholder on Oak Island until after that.
Yeah, exactly. Lori Girl, if you're talking about this big boulder, that is an unmentioned boulder. It's not part of Nolan's Cross that we know of. But if that's what you're talking about, yeah, this is something new that they haven't really discussed before.
It's the first time we've seen it.
Yeah. And there seems to be some sort of cavity underneath it, because Matty gets down and looks in it and he's like, whoa. They don't show us, of course, but
but and someone asked, did Sandball spend any Spanish silver coins locally?
Ooh.
His rumor is he did have coins that he found on the island. I can't remember the actual description of them, but yes.
I like what Thomas's idea in the chat. Lot 8, or this feature looks like a dolmen to him. That's a good.
What's a dolmen?
A dolmen are those like megalithic, like just like most basic sort of like caveman house, but I feel like they're all over Europe. There's some here in America.
Yeah. Okay. I know what you mean now. Yep.
But yeah, I feel like, old folk stories will be like, oh, these mythical creatures live in them, or giants made them for their, I don't know. But yeah, dolmen, that's maybe someone in the chat can explain it better than I.
Yeah. Oh, nice. So appreciate that. Thank you. I see some people bringing up the hatch ? Hold that thought. We're almost there. So yeah. So I got her name. Ethan's there, and then there's another I forgot her name, but it's coming up. I've got her name on the screenshot coming up. But she's there, and Laird, of course, and Steve is there. Great start to the new season. Join us in Discord during the show for a friendly banter and debate. Yes, thank you very much. Is this Craig? I think it's Craig. I think that's Oklahoma Youper. Is that who that? Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Could be.
So a lot of people there, and here's another look at that whole Tansy. It's Tansy. Thank you, Karen. Appreciate it. Yeah, Tansy is her name. Yep. And Jan popped that in. Lisa said too.
Everybody knows but us.
Covering for me. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah. So here's the interesting thing about this too. Oh, okay. Yes, it is. Thank you, Craig. These rocks. Look at these rocks. I mean, come on. This is just too.
They're placed. They're delivered.
They're placed. This thing is placed there. What would it take? Go back. I mean, look what it took for the guys to get over there and pick up the Cone E stone with the crane and the straps, and they broke the straps, and they had to grab it again and pick it back up. And remember all the trouble they had just to pick that thing up.
Yep. You also notice there too, Jeff. I just noticed it now. Is the stones surrounding it on the outside, like the walkway type? I'm going to call it a walkway, headway around the outside. The flat stones around, not just the stones holding it up, and that could be the source of all those stones that they have the big pile over there.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
Stones surrounded by other stones again.
Yep. Yeah, but look at that. I mean, this thing was put there. Can you imagine the monumental effort to place this boulder in there? So, and again, it's the same thing. I go back to talking about Nolan's Cross. Would anybody do that? Move all those stones into place simply for the heck of it? It has to mean something. It has to be something important for them to go through all this effort to put it there. This is not
the fact that it's a granite boulder too. So Laird was pretty specific. He mentioned the fact that it was granite.
Mm-hmm. Yep. This is an important feature, or it wouldn't have been placed this way.
They're not done there yet.
They're not done here yet. There's another shot of it talking about Tom talking about all these other. Look at all these stones here, all around right here. This is what they were uncovering, I think, and moving over here in that pile. But yeah, this is crazy. And Matty goes and gets inside of it. He looks underneath it. Yeah. All these stones. This is crazy. It really is. And then Matty goes inside. He goes down and gets a look in there. And then I heard it mentioned, and I can't remember exactly, it was on the show, but I heard it mentioned, somebody said something about a tunnel. Now, I'm not going to go venture into saying, oh, there's a tunnel there and it's an entrance to a tunnel. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but it is an opening by which they can crawl in there. And I would be a little scared to crawl underneath that thing, to be quite honest with you. But yeah.
Well, that's why when he went down there, they said, make it quick.
Yeah. You don't want to linger down there for too long. But coming up, there is a picture of inside this thing in an upcoming episode. So we'll get to see that as we go along here tonight. Again, that is a significant piece there. So can't wait to see what that's all about. I grabbed the screenshot here. Katya was handing some stuff over for Matty to look at, and she was pulling them out of her pocket and handing them. The one, I didn't even get a screenshot of it because we couldn't see what it was anyway. It was just, it was almost like she didn't have anything in her hand, and she handed it to him, and there was nothing. It had to be something I know, so flat, and he's going, oh, wow, look at that, and then we never could see it. So I didn't bother showing it. But this one here in this little baggie here, and again, I zoom in on it, and unfortunately, I just can't get a clear shot at what this was.
I tried the same thing too, and I couldn't get much better than that.
Yeah. And I got one more picture here. And it looks almost, in that picture there, it almost looks like one of those lead bag seals.
Oh, okay. I was
thinking
part of a barter token.
Could be.
Yeah. Hopefully it's really a barter token and not that,
but
that whizzer that they call a barter token.
I like the bag.
I don't think this is the Roman coin. If you remember, I think Matty had said something. It looks like a carving on it. And Laird just went, So whatever it is, it was able to be carved, whether it's metal or if it's stone or if it's pottery. Don't know. But again, it was something that was very significant. And later you heard Marty make a comment about it. And he said something about Katya being so excited about it. It was stirring, causing a stir about what it was. It could be a button, but we don't know.
Yeah. Could be. Yeah.
We don't know. Waterman said, is that a button? It wasn't that a button. We don't know what it was yet because they haven't shown it to us. We don't know. So anyway, interesting find. Again, they found a lot of really cool stuff. Katya may not have ever found a bag seal, but I bet she's found buttons before.
Oh yeah, because she said was that one of the items she's never seen before? That's a good point.
Yep. Lead is easy to be carved. Yes, Pete, it is. Yep. So what this is, we don't know yet, but we will as the show goes on. We'll find out what this piece was before too long. Here's that part about the valve. I mean, somebody was talking about the hatch. No, this lines up almost perfectly with Zena's map about the December triangle.
Steve did the overlay there that he showed us.
Yeah, there was another shot with an overlay, and and I didn't. It was hard to really see, so I didn't bother pulling a picture of it. But he did the overlay, and he said it lines up almost exactly where this is. And remember that this Zena's map, I think, was a quickly drawn map of somebody looking at the actual map in something else, and somebody quickly drew this. I think that's what this was.
Right.
I could be wrong.
Or somebody just giving it this drawing from memory for
somebody. From memory or something. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, here, and this is the thing about Zena's map, folks. So many people, and you've heard Marty say Zena's map, if true, there has been more things that have been found that give credence to Zena's map than not. And the reason I say that is because these things that are being found on Zena's map, the anchors, the dam, all these things are in the Stone Triangle. The Stone Triangle is something that people have known about for quite a while. Searchers saw it a long time ago. But many of these pieces weren't even known about let's say somebody created this map in 1960 and gave it to Xena and said, "Oh, look, I found this map. Isn't this cool?" They wouldn't have known about these spots because they weren't found yet by modern searchers.
And this is why, as they talked about before, the collection of data over 13 seasons or longer is important, because what wasn't important before becomes important now. And everything on that map is starting to hold up.
It is. It is.
Yeah. Yeah. I always liked Xena and never questioned like her. You know, I knew that she wouldn't be like pushing what she thought was a fake map. I just didn't know. I didn't trust the map. But since she has died, you know, and people in the chat have been talking about how awesome it is that, you know, she's still helping the Fellowship. I think, you know, her and everyone who knows her is just overjoyed with how much this map has been again and again proven true. Because I was a poo-pooer of the map, just like the 90-foot stone, where I'm like, convince me. But this map again and again, I keep being like, dang, I was wrong. And like people in the chat said, Rick believed in Xena, and you know he's got a good radar of people, and
So this is the December Triangle. Now, we don't, you know, remember there's the translation too. They've already looked at some of the stuff when they took the map over and showed it to somebody over in France. And they were looking at this and they said, "Oh, well, no, your translation is off here a little bit." And they worked it over a little bit. But so December Triangle might mean something else. It might not be talking about like the triangle, the stone triangle, like it says down here in the bottom. It might be something else. They did draw it as a triangle under that red dot. I don't know if you can see it, but there's like a triangle underneath there. Okay, but this is in the right spot for this big boulder. So,
I mean, regardless, I mean, when you talk about Xena, right, two things can be true at the same time. I can present you with a map that I believe that I can support and be totally convinced that it's true. And there may be aspects of it that just turn out not to be true. It doesn't mean I'm not genuine in my effort.
Correct.
Right. So,
but they haven't disproven her map yet.
Correct. Oh no, I'm with Seth. I first started off going,
I know, just the luckiest find ever. Oh, the back of this book has a map. Like, what?
Surprise.
Surprise.
What all this December stuff means, I have no idea yet, but we'll see.
It just happens to anyway.
Xena's map opens up more questions about it really does. It really does. So anyway, so I'm really curious. This is a huge I think this is going to turn out to be a huge find. So we'll see.
Yes,
we'll see where it goes.
Agree.
Yep. So lot 8.
Sam Ball knew it was there.
He did. He had to have known it was there. I mean, even if he was farming that land, you're still going to come across that big boulder.
Pretty hard to walk by. Surrounded by rocks.
And you can't move it to put in your cabbages, so you just leave it there, right?
There's so much you can do with an oxen, and that's not it.
Wonder why this big boulder's here. Let me dig around here a little bit. Oh, look, I can get underneath.
Look underneath it.
Oh, there's a box of coins underneath this thing. I don't know. Anyway. All right, so we got to move along. So the next thing they come across, they talk about is the swamp a little bit. And they're actually still, at the time that Matty's there, they're actually still looking up in the northern area. I took this shot here because you can see that they've made their way in here. There's a little road getting into this little access coming in right here off that road. And this may be where they were. But they came in here and they were working this area, but I thought they were up here again in this northern area, and they found another section of the road, the stone road, or that pathway or whatever. You can see it. They're standing on it right there. This is up on the northern end. But they're still working this area over, and there's still answers in the swamp. The swamp still holds some secrets, I think.
If we can't get the big dig in the money pit, let's get the big dig in the swamp.
Yeah. Where would you look in the swamp?
I mean, the whole swamp. I want the whole road uncovered, or I would want the whole road uncovered. I I still want to know what that anomaly, the ship shape anomaly is.
No, that still bugs me.
Yeah. What did they burn? You know, what did they destroy? That all that charcoal that Dr. Ian Spooner found. What you know, okay, they're transporting gold or heavy items, but still, I don't know. That was I think it was like a retreat as well as like a, place, as well as stashing treasure. They were doing rituals. Or I don't know if ritual's the right word, but I just feel like there's so much with all the astro archaeology and the alignment of the stars and Nolan's cross with, the work that John Edwards done and putting the tree of life. There's so many layers of it. And I think the whole island is just got to be littered with all these things, including the swamp. So, what do I want in the swamp? I don't know. The list goes on and on and on, as do I. So I'll be quiet.
Well, remember what Rick said when they found that little vault up in the north end up there, that we assume that I'm going to jump out. Well, they kind of mentioned it too, that Anthony Graves probably found it and then utilized it, and he rebuilt it a little bit with some brick. But Rick had said at that time he felt as though there were more of those in the swamp area. It was well hidden. It was really a nice place to put something like that and keep it well hid. So he felt there was more. So if I had my druthers, I would scrape off the entire swamp, all of it. I'd scrape off the whole thing.
Yeah, looks like by the end of the season, you're going to get your wish.
Yeah, because we saw when I was there taking the tour, and the tram came around. This where my pointer is over here on the end of the road, coming around across the road that crosses the south end of the swamp area. You get this whole area over here where I'm circling was all scraped off. This whole area has been worked, and you see where they're working right now over here. So are they looking for more of those vaults or more signs of anything? Yes, they are. That's
what these stone structures are doing over in that, I'm going to call it the west side of the swamp, to me is mind blowing. I mean, I'm a logistics person, right? Like I like to see the practical aspects of things, and I can see the Portuguese structure down in the southeast corner. I can see the roads going up the side of the swamp, cutting across the top of the swamp over into lot 8 and all down that. Those all make practical sense. Could have been a dock there, could have been a wharf there. What this stuff is doing all down that side of the swamp is just.
Well, that's the question. Why?
Why? I mean,
why did they go
no practical
all this trouble to put a platform in there? And a couple of the things that they dated on us that Ian Spooner had dated, the platform that they found. And let me go back to that picture here real quick. I'll bring it back up here. The platform that was in this area right here.
Yep.
That platform was dated 800 years old. Okay.
And the Portuguese at the bottom was 500 years old.
The stone road down in the southeast corner that's just off the bottom down here. You can't see it.
Yep.
500 years old. What in the heck did they need these for?
See, to me, they were docks. They were places to bring in your barge, whatever, to go up, work in the money pit, remove spoils, come down the hill, get on and off, that portion of the island to access the money pit. What they needed stuff on that far side for, I have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't either. Yep. And they did find this. This was a neat little tool. I don't think they actually, this isn't the tool that they analyzed later, but you can see how it was shaped up here.
Gary was worried about getting fired.
Yeah. Fired. Fired. Yeah. But that's going to be an interesting to see. And that supposedly dates way back as well. So
it's supposedly, to me, something that would involve fire and be used in mining. At first, I thought it was a plumb bob.
Yeah, I did too. Yep.
But
we don't know. Yep. So interesting finds there as well. And then they have this little bad boy right here this is in the lab when they all gathered in the lab. And they were looking at some of the finds in there. This was really cool. Now, here we got a new lot, or not a new lot, but a lot that they haven't really talked about a lot. Lot 15. Lot 15 had the supposed pine tar kiln. Lot 15 was also the lot where they were, back when they found the stone road and they were looking up through the woods towards the money pit, they were following a path of oxen shoes, if you remember that. So they were talking about this lot 15, the pine tar kiln was used.
Where are the stone piles at?
Yeah.
Lot 15.
Lot 15.
Where's the highest point on the island?
15.
Lot 15. And we've said it before, we've talked about it before, and I've said it before, that if you were going to find an island you're going to find the tallest point on the island, and you're going to put markers up there. How else are you going to know what island I'm talking about? The markers in the swamp and the markers down the lowlands, they don't mean anything because you can't see them from the ocean. You put stone piles on top of a hill, and you tell someone to find these 5 stone piles on top of a hill. That's your marker.
Mm-hmm.
Then you find the island, and what do? You climb up to the marker, and you have to either graph or draw or find or locate things or map out an island.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you use to do that? From the highest point on the island, you use a compass.
Use a compass.
So now you want to know what it's doing up there?
I think that's exactly what it was doing up there, and it looks like it broke, or maybe it just broke off over time.
Rusted away or something.
Yeah, rusted away.
Stepped on by an oxen.
Yep. Yeah. Left a shoe behind.
But that's a mapping instrument. And if you're going to map something, you go to the highest point. And lot 15 and 16 are the highest points on the island.
Yep.
They're 52 feet above sea level. The money pit's 30 feet above sea level.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Compass up there. And like Judy Rudabush had said during the show that any sailor that works maps is going to have one of these, whether you're a sailor or not. Even if you're working on the ground, like Tom just said, even if you're doing surveying or whatever, you're going to use a compass. It's going to be an important tool for you with maps. So that's a cool find.
Yep.
Did they say how old this thing was, or did they estimate?
I don't believe they did.
I don't recall. Did anybody in the chat, any of you remember they said how old this thing was? Yeah. Yeah, I know, Linda. I'm on it.
They said old. They just described it as being old metal.
Being old. Yeah. And then there was this, the folded. Now, this kind of blew me away. This folded, I thought it was lead, but they said it was a coin, right? Folded over?
Token.
A token. So maybe
not like a Roman coin or a silver, Spanish coin. It's a token, like a barter token. They called it.
Yeah, there it is. Lot 5 folded token. Yes. Yep. Another interesting.
Why would you fold it? That's the crazy part.
Yeah, I don't know. They said it's something about placing like a curse or something, or protection.
Fold it 3 times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd never heard of that.
I had not either. That's the first time I had ever caught that before. Yeah.
Yeah, the folded token. Yeah. Yeah, Renee said so.
Yeah. So that was interesting as well. I thought we're pretty cool. Now, as I've mentioned before, we're not going to go through repeating about all the machines, how they go in the lab, and they talk about the XRF and the XRD and all this kind of stuff all the time. But I did hear something very cool that I'll just pass on, and this will be the last time that I bring it up. Emma had talked about the machines that she had, and I hadn't heard it in this way before, so I thought I'd pass it on. The CT scan helps them to identify what it is. The XRF, what is it made of? And then the XRD, where it came from. So what it is,
I like that.
What's it made of, and where it came from. That's the
kind of like the who, what, where, when, and why.
Yeah.
Of artifacts.
So yeah, so that's
so now we've heard it.
Okay, so that was the drilling down, which I thought was really, really cool. We're going to jump into the show part here in just a moment, but before we get to that, we did have a giveaway that I should have mentioned at the beginning of the show. We do have a giveaway tonight. So many people have donated things for us, and that's really cool. We appreciate that very much. And this is one of them for tonight's giveaway right here. And it is this board, not the charger, but this is one of those. It's a board that this is Money Pit wood. And Linda's going to come up here in a minute. She's going to do the spinneroo for all this. We do these giveaways. We put it up on the Facebook group page, and then Linda will put a post up on our Facebook group page, The Curse of Oak Island and Beyond Skinwalker Ranch. And then she will say, all you have to do is comment or reply on that post to say yes. Is that still the way it works, Linda?
Yes. And
yes.
This includes the charger.
Oh, it does include the charger. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I have one of those, and it works great.
Yes, so do I, and it does work great. So
I have one too.
The piece of wood is Money Pit wood, and then Jess Grollo does the engraving on them over at Blue 6 Laser. She does the engraving on them, and So I think you can buy these in the store. Is this something that the store has? Okay.
Usually they sell these to raise money for charity.
Okay.
And they do not sell them in the store with the charger. I had to order the charger separately.
Okay. Well, that's how you get to be part of the giveaway. Is you go out to the our Facebook group page, you wait for her post to come up, and it's usually like a week before the show, the podcast, or something.
Usually at midnight, Friday morning.
Okay. And then all you have to do is simply reply yes or comment yes to that post, and you are eligible to you're put on the spinner to win this thing. Now, you must be present to win at the podcast. We're going to spin. Whoever's name comes up, we'll give you about a minute to say, I'm here, I'm here. Somebody's already saying they're here.
We'll give you about 30 seconds to say you're here.
Yeah, about 30 seconds to say you're here. And if we don't hear from you, then we will spin again. So make sure that if this comes up, you reply right away. Linda's going to do the spinaroo. And one last thing too. If your name on Facebook is different from the name you use in YouTube, you must tell us, because if you start
saying my book,
Crazy Oak Island Lady.
Yes, and it's full of all your names that have changed, except for the ones that have just changed in the last week or two.
Yeah.
And so it's going to take me a while to figure all of those out. I know Oklahoma Youper has changed and Cat Fulton has changed.
Yeah.
A bunch of people have.
The delay is about 12 seconds, Sue, so we should be okay. But we'll give you a chance. We'll definitely give you plenty of time. We'll talk a little bit while we're waiting for.
Yeah.
So are you ready,
30
Linda?
or 40 seconds should be plenty of time to type in I'm here.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to put you in solo layout so we can see let's see here. Oh, why did it go away? It should be. That's weird. Well, they've done some. Oh, here we go. They've changed it a little bit, I think.
Well, the spinning thing has changed too. So this is may or may not work well. Okay, here we go. Turn it up.
All right, good. We can see the names going by. A lot of people in this thing. Susan Wall. Right. Susan Wall. Roy's up there. You said Roy's the one that mentioned the delay.
I don't think she's here. I don't know.
I don't know. Roy, is Susan here?
Sue's here.
I'm here. There she is.
Too slow.
Right.
Congratulations, Sue.
All right. There you go.
Yep.
Right.
I've got your address and I will get that mailed out to you probably Friday.
All right, cool. All right, thank you, Linda. That was fast.
Everybody.
Yeah, we did one a while back, and it took us quite a few times.
3 spins.
3 spins before we got a winner here. So, all right, so that's how we do that.
Okay.
So,
yep. Thanks, everybody.
Well. All right, thank you, Linda.
Bye, Linda.
All right, well, let's get to the actual show, shall we? All right, let's jump into The Curse of Oak Island, season 13, episode number 1, The Comeback. We'll jump into, this was a good episode. We had 2 hours to go through everything, and it was really good. I like this here. This was a comment made by Marty that I thought was pretty interesting. And he said, this was when he walked in, hello, everybody, we're back. And, and got down and started talking about all the stuff that they were doing. And he says, so if we found something with the drilling program, we would then turn over this to this gleeful planning of recovery effort. So the drill program, which started in May, you said, Tom?
When May 30th, they showed up. Yep.
When Choice got out, okay,
yep.
June 1st, thereabouts. Yep. When they started doing the drill program, if they found, then they would work on a recovery effort at that point. It would change you wouldn't need to be poking caissons in the ground all over the place. You could simply go straight for the recovery effort at that point, because they would have found the one thing.
Yep.
And be able to move on. So I thought that was cool. It's kind of neat to see him come in there and talk to everybody, and they do it every year. And we see some of the new faces in there. They also talked about this, and this is something that Tom and I have have talked about a little bit leading up to the season premiere here, is this solution channel and how it kind of, you heard him talk about, I think it was Alex that made a comment about it being like a canyon underneath the money pit and how it runs through, but it heads up towards the garden shaft.
Correct.
And so they went through and they did a whole bunch of holes. They are planned. These are all planned boreholes that they plan to put in to go down deeper than ever before and get into that solution channel.
So here's my question.
Mhm.
This is the drill program they talked about. This is where Choice was, because Choice set up right next to TOT1, right?
Mhm.
We also know they spent time at the garden shaft. They even took the railing down at the garden shaft.
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't they showing us the drill program for over next to the garden shaft?
I don't know.
Because that's where it is.
Because
I looked at that last night and I went, okay, they're showing us all this stuff down here, and we know Choice started right there. That's where they started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then they obviously progressed up towards the garden shaft. They even put a case on next to the garden shaft.
Yeah.
So we know Choice was there May 30th. We know the drill rig showed up sometime in July, not the case on rig, just the drill rig.
Mhm.
And the drill rig didn't move until almost the middle of August.
Right.
Yeah. It's
So
going
they
to
were
be
2 months poking around with Choice drilling
Yeah.
before they actually decided to start recovering things.
Yeah. I like that they're starting there and then working their way towards the
Mhm.
garden shaft. Make sure they're not going to miss any material, probably seeing how far it's spread, but it's got to be the egg, the blob, all that
Mhm.
area next to the garden shaft.
Yep.
That's where it is.
Yep. Yeah.
That's where the water always pumps
I think
out.
you're right. I think you're correct. I think that's where the offset chamber is.
Oh, yes. And that's whoever did the garden shaft knew about the chamber and was trying to get to it from the garden shaft. That makes the most sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the evidence that they found of that tunnel that seemed to have collapsed in.
Yep. I think so too. I think that's where they're headed. Here's a J6. That's the first one that they began to work on. Remember too that TOT1 was where they found this chunk of iron last year. That's some sort of they thought it was like a pickaxe, part of a broken pickaxe tool or something like that. This was found in the TOT1. So this little that caisson was a good placement. I thought it was a good placement. Brought up a lot of neat stuff from there.
Yep.
This was also found from the this was found in the spoils of TOT1 that were over by the wash
was a chisel. Yeah.
Yep.
That was a chisel.
1700s or earlier. No modern alloys. And this was the report that she had when she looked at that. And again, chisel report, no modern alloys were in it. So, it's older than the money pit, was older than the finding of the money pit. So that's very, very significant in this whole story. Then we jump over to the war room. And this is where we get to meet Steve Solomon. Now, Steve Solomon is a gentleman who came to the island. He approached them through Doug, I think it was, and he came with a very curious coin. And now this coin, we could spend a lot of time talking about this particular coin, but it all starts with James Pitt Blotto and the finding of this. And I go back when I saw this, and I think it was Maya had mentioned that Scott Clark's book, because it was in
it
here.
was.
It's been mentioned in a lot of different places. Scott Clark's book being one of them. But he talks about it very clearly in here, talking about the this particular case of James Plitbato, and the fact that he was the foreman. And I was reading in his book here that he was a foreman that was working for the Turo company.
Mm-hmm.
And it was thought that he was the guy who was, when they were bringing it up, like the guys over there on the table. When you see Terry Matheson, he's the Terry Matheson of that time. They bring up the drill, and he's the one that takes the spoils off and goes through all the spoils. Well, as the story goes, he found something, and they never really talked about what it was. I think there was some people out there that were saying, "Oh, it was a gem," or "Oh,
something shiny," right?
Something shiny or gold or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But he found something on the drill in the spoils, and he put it in his pocket. And then he said he told somebody saw him do that. A gentleman by the name of John Gamble was a shareholder, and but they saw him take something out and kind of look at it, examine it, and put it in his pocket. Then they asked him, "Hey, what was that?" And he go, I'll bring it up at the shareholder or at the meeting when we get the meeting here coming up in a few days." And he disappeared. He was gone. He left his job. And very well done. It's on page 44, 45 in Scott Clark's book. And when he talks about, there's other people that have talked about the same story. So it's not like he had the exclusive on it, but he is very well covered in his book. Now it talks and shows in here the line. Now, supposedly this coin was passed down through the family line of the Archibalds, which would be Steve Solomon's wife's family.
Correct.
And he ended up with this coin that is supposedly what James Pitt Blotto found, put in his pocket. He then went to Archibald and was working with Archibald to try to get him to buy this portion of the island. Now, if this portion of the story is true, and we have no reason to believe it isn't, it had to be whatever it was he found on that drill bit and put in his pocket. And that's all well documented, as I say. It had to be something really important for him to leave the island, leave his job, and then go get a hold of Archibald, who was a very wealthy man, and get him to invest in buying the money pit lots on the island.
But here's the thing. Nobody actually saw it.
No. And that's why I use this on the, I use this whole story, and I use that picture of this coin in tonight's thumbnail, because there are certain parts of the story that must be true for this to be the coin or the thing that he took off of that drill bit. It has to be that he had to have found the coin on it, and then how it passed through the family and all this whole story. Is it one of those 90-foot stone things? Tina's map type of thing? I don't know. What do you think?
So you're drilling in the money pit. You find something that's shiny and causes you to leave your job and then buy land on the part of the island where you didn't find something shiny. So it doesn't make sense to me that he would find what leads him. They're just trying to get any land they can on the island.
Well, that's what they ended up with.
They tried to get the money pit, but because they already had a mining license over the money pit area, they couldn't get that. Right. But I don't know. Whenever we tried to verify a story when we used to do investigations, you always had to ask yourself one question, and you asked it on everything: is how do you know?
Yeah, I believe you found something.
How do you know that when a drill rig is set up 30 feet underground, that when a fellow takes something off of that drill rig, it's going to be shiny?
That's a good point too.
Yeah.
Could be totally true. Could be totally legit true. But the old question is, how do you know? You can't, and as Alex said, I would have loved to have seen that fall off the bit.
Yeah, I don't doubt the connection, the family connection, the pedigree, the history.
I totally agree.
I think at some point, somewhere, someone along that lineage inserted the coin and said, "Oh, and this is the coin," and it really wasn't. I don't know. It's hard for me to.
We know the coin is legit, right?
Yeah, they've proven it was,
and we know the person presenting the coin is legit, right? So, I mean, two things can be true. Like we talked about earlier, two things can be true at the same time. I can totally believe my story is 100% true. And go to my grave saying this is a fact. I know it for sure. But it comes back to my original question. How do you know?
Right.
And that report is part of what I would be asking when I would say, how do you know?
Yeah, well, and that's Waterman. I do see your comments there, and I do appreciate that, and I do my best to try to cover them all. But and I agree with you on that, and we're gonna
About
talk.
it not being damaged.
Well, it being bent, yeah.
Yeah, it says it's bent through normal use.
That's what I thought. It didn't
And
look like
they had
drill
speculated it was bent by the drill bit.
Right.
Where are the scratches?
It's in pristine condition.
Bingo.
It's.
Where are the scratches?
Is it possible it came up out of the hole that way? I mean, sure,
It
anything's
is,
possible.
I guess.
Anything's possible. I'm not, I'm not saying the guy's trying to, put a fake job on us here or anything.
Right.
I'm just saying there's questions.
Right, and that's another question that Linda just went past. Why did it take so long for him to come out and say something about it? I don't know.
I don't see how something that's silver and tarnished, right? Because silver tarnishes, gold doesn't. Okay, silver and tarnished, 30 feet down a 10-foot wide mine shaft, appears to be shiny. I don't see how that happens.
What's really cool is the fact that there's, these living descendants out there with these stories and these connections and these artifacts, and he's not the only one. We've gotten to see in past seasons the descendant of the pirate, can't remember his name, that chest of his.
Oh yeah, James Anderson.
Yes, James Anderson. So for me, it makes me think of like how many more people are out there, and people say, well, why did he wait so long? Maybe the family it wasn't just his decision. Maybe he had to get more of the family on board of, hey, I'm gonna go, because it's my, I'll sit here on the YouTube, but if they're like, hey Seth, go get on Oak Island, that's so stressful, and maybe get a book he's working on. I don't know, but
I have no doubt about Mr. Solomon's legitimacy and intention. None whatsoever.
I agree. Yeah, I don't think
seemed like a really nice guy.
Yeah, I don't think he's being dishonest about it.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't. We're not going that route.
And the other big thing is when you go to how do you know all the things that we and the people in the chat have just asked that the guys didn't ask him that never made the tape. They could be on the cutting room floor.
Exactly. He was probably in that war room talking about these
for hours.
Yes, for hours. Every time they do a war room, we've heard about it being hours of time in there.
Yep.
And we saw 5 minutes of it. So yes, they probably
could have asked all these questions
about this.
And they could have asked all these questions and been totally satisfied with the answers.
Yeah. So they verified.
You can see Marty and Rick want to believe.
They do, very much so.
Right, you can see it right in their eyes, but Alex is not convinced.
Yeah. Now this
Alex wants to believe, but he's not convinced.
Yes, he does. That's very true. Now this paper here that he showed, this was the he just doesn't. We don't know. Yeah, we don't know how much he knows about all that. This paper here was the one where they were trying to get Archibald involved in buying the lot, and you had done
I just did that just for fun, just to see what the thing actually said, right? And it's the age-old story, man. 1849, the tax man still wants his share. Right? I thought it was kind of neat, placed into safekeeping and immediately convey every part thereof to the receiver general. And for those people not from around here, whatever, the receiver general is the tax man.
Yep.
In Canada. That's our version. When you go to pay your taxes, you make a check payable to the receiver general.
Yep. So if you find it,
you got to bring it to me.
Yeah.
I just thought it was kind of neat. That's all.
Yeah, very much so. So thanks for doing that, Tom. Because I looked at it, I'm like, I can't read half of what it says here, but Tom took the time to really dig into this and see exactly what it said. So appreciate that. The coin is in excellent condition with little signs of wear and no abrasive marks. There is a slight bend across the center of the coin with no signs of transferred metal or abrasions visible through the XRF, indicating that the bend was most likely caused during usage and not unnaturally bent.
Yeah,
and again, we go back to the auger. I mean, if at 2-inch auger, and I'm thinking about this, those were small drills back in that time. So
and they just happen to be lucky enough to get the one coin that's come out of the money pit.
Yeah, we're
And the Laginas haven't been able to get a single coin.
Yeah.
With all their drilling, I don't know. It's hard for me.
So it's the auger's 2 inches, and it's the
and
size
how
of a
deep
quarter.
were they?
And a quarter would be 3/4 of an inch across.
Well, they went down just below the yes, just below the 90-foot stone area is what I recall them talking about. Yeah.
Well, they went down 30 feet with the shaft, and then they did the drill, right? Because 30 feet you hit water.
Yeah.
That's sea level again.
Right. And they were drilling down just below the money or the 90-foot stone area, and they came up with this coin. So I don't know what was on that drill bit. Was it this coin? We just don't.
I have no idea.
It's one of those stories that we just don't know for sure. You know, based upon the facts.
No, you haul up 4 or 5 more of those, and I'd say, yep.
Yeah. There you go. So should they be excited? Yes. But is it truly this is what's down there?
Did the guy have this coin and try and go and get this guy to buy land on a ruse?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe that's why he was being all secret about it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So if all the parts, that's what I said in the description, the title of tonight's show, if all these parts are true, then yes, this is what they can expect or hope to find deeper in the money pit.
And I hope they do.
And I hope they do as well. But is it definitive? Is this certainly what it was? We just don't know. Is Zena's map absolutely true? Boy, it sure seems like it, but we just don't know for sure. So there you go. And there's some more analysis about it and all that saying, yes, the coin was real. It is a real coin.
Totally legit coin. Yep.
Why question this as much as we are when we just accept the parchment paper with the V? That's another thing. I don't know. You're right.
I think the implications are a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
In terms, like if this, but parchment being down there is almost more confusing than gold or treasury coin being down there. But to me personally, a coin has a lot more weight of what it could mean and implicate where you're going to so I'm just more
the parchment paper is partially backed up by what Jack almost destroyed with the fire hose, right?
That's a good point. Yeah, they found more of it.
There's other evidence that goes along with that.
Yes, that's very true. Thank you, Tom, for bringing that up.
Yeah,
that's very true. Yeah, the book binding. They took that to a guy up in Halifax, and it was book binding. There was actually, and they looked at it and
the parchment was actually documented at the time it was found. So
yep,
the coin wasn't.
But anyway, yes, by the searchers, yes, it was, and yes, exactly, Kat. Thank you. That's a very good point. The parchment was documented by the searchers as part of the find, where the coin was not. So, yeah, and the things on the coin. I mean, it proves the coin is legit.
The coin is totally legit. I have no doubt.
Yeah, but where it came from is still a question, unfortunately. I think at this point, more evidence of the coin and its documentation that it's real. All right, so then they move over to lot 5. They get working on lot 5 a little bit.
Size of that place. Oh my God, it's a subdivision.
This is going to grow. I mean, I can imagine that from half of the lot. Now, remember, this is one of the lots. This is one of the long, skinny lots, and this circular feature. You can actually see it somewhat when you're on one of the Salty Dog Sea Tours, Tony Sampson's boat tours. You can actually see it when you're out there in the water. You look inland and you can see the working in there at it. So it's right just inside the tree line.
But it's not just that. Okay, so what they're standing on right now is what we mostly call the lot 5 structure, right?
Right.
Look behind where those 3 people are standing. What's that tarp covering?
Yeah.
And if you look at those different angles when they shoot around there with their little drone or camera, there's tarps in different places. So it's huge. Whatever they're digging up back there is huge.
I think that they're going to find that lot 5 is going to be uncovered. They're going to be working the whole half of that lot from the middle all the way to the water. They're going to be working that whole area. And I can also see it spilling into, Fiona did say that. Yep. Thank you, Kat. Spilling over to lot 4 and lot 6. I mean, why just confined to lot 5? I don't think it is. I think that whole side of the island, I think they're going to find stuff along.
Well, I agree, because back then there was no, when these people were active on the island, there was no lot 5. There was no boundary lines.
Correct.
It was just an island, right?
Yeah.
It's not like they're trying to work within the confines of a particular lot. The lot wasn't there.
Yep. Yeah, a town. It might be a whole town in there. There might be several. But like she said, they found more. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe this would connect to that wall, that kind of confused them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why not? So here you see everybody working. You see Laird and Fiona way over there. That's kind of where that could that be where that tarp is? Oh,
looks like
part of it over there where they're working. Yeah. So what's cool is they got these Ethan back. Ethan Green is back. He's there doing his thing. And then we've got Tansy, who I couldn't remember her name earlier. Renecki, and then also Isabel Whittier. So
nice.
Yeah, a lot of people over there helping out and doing some stuff over here.
How deep that is.
Yeah, I know, right? This is cool. I think this is exactly what they need here too. They need these people out here doing this. This is such an important part of answering the mystery of this whole thing. This whole
I'm going to go out on a limb, and that whole site right there was declared a special place.
Yes, it was.
Right? I'm going to go out on a limb and say by this time next year, I bet you that's declared a National Historic Site.
Yep.
Ooh. Well, who was it? Was it Fiona that said they're rewriting history?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it used to just be, us non-scientists that were saying that. Now it's the archaeologists making these claims.
Yes, Lorraine, we all need to go.
I
can do a sifter.
As far as to say, based on some of the research that I've been doing, that place is going to be of national historical importance in the next couple of years.
Yep,
cool.
I agree. Yep,
I can't wait to visit it one day.
Oh, it's great. It really is. It's really a wonderful.
And if it does get designated a National Historic Site, the guys still own it, right? It doesn't mean you have to turn it over to the government or anything.
Oh, nice.
Right? It just means the site is designated as being proven to have historical significance. That's all.
Yeah. Nova Scotia history, rewriting Nova Scotia history. I think it's rewriting North American history, to be honest.
Yeah, and I'm kind of with Corian on this. Like, we're not rewriting it; we're just clarifying it.
That's well put.
The history as we know it about, Champlain and all these other guys poking around the Portuguese. That's all documented. We know it, right?
Yep.
But now there's more to the story than what we've already learned, and this is the more to the story.
Right.
Now you know the rest of the story.
Vikings, Knights of Malta.
Yep. Very possible.
Yep. Rizzili down in La Have. Yeah. There's so much more to this story. Anyway, there's Tansy, and she found herself a couple pieces. She ended up finding, I don't think she found this. I forget who actually found this.
I can't remember.
But she found that bead. This was found over where Laird and Fiona were working. That they found this piece here, this rod. They're not sure what the heck it is, but they were going to get it scanned and get it looked at.
I hope they get that scanned with the rod that they pulled out of those spoils from TOT1.
Yeah, that was like a cribbing spike or something.
Well, what are they looking at there? I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I would like to know if those two metals are the same.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
because they're always trying to draw that correlation between lot 5 and the money pit.
Right. That would be interesting.
If you pulled a piece of metal out of there that matches the piece of metal that came from the other place, your dotted line is becoming more solid.
Yeah, she found another bead, and Laird had mentioned this one being like a one that's sewn onto the
embroidered.
Embroidered.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah,
and Venetian, like the glass beads that they found.
Yep.
And they asked him, was it Marty or was it on the episode where they asked him, is it like, would you have expected to find this many beads in other sites? And of course he said no, right?
And those beads were important, right? Remember we did the thing on the Hudson's Bay Company a couple years ago or last year, and like these beads were important. They were cash.
They were traded. Yeah, like cash. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, that's what Ryo just said. Yep, exactly. A seed bead.
Yeah, and we know the Mi'kmaq were on the island, so they were definitely, I'm sure,
the Mi'kmaq were
taking those beads
all over the place. So
yep, yeah, thinking
and they would have traded furs, beaver furs, as Jim McQuiston would like to tell you, for beads. Yep, they were valuable items, just like a gemstone.
Right. Absolutely. Like a gemstone or jewelry. What type?
Yep.
They found a lead shot, a piece of lead. Well, it was a little ball of lead. Not sure what it came out of. If it was part of like a shotgun, shot or something from a shotgun type of thing, or a blunderbuss or whatever. But yeah, they found a little, or broke off of something. But you see where they're standing, how close to the water they are. That's one I wanted to point that out here too. They're very close to the water. But I think lot 5, lot 6, that whole side, all the way down to lot 8, I think that's all going to be part of this. Maybe the whole island will be part of the historic place.
Yeah, and another tarp right there too.
Yeah, and another tarp over there covering something up. Yep. There's that lead shot. And then this little curious thing. We don't know what that was yet. At first, I thought this was the compass.
Oh, the compass, yeah.
But it wasn't. I don't think, because the compass was found on lot 15, and this is on lot 5. So, we don't know what this was, but an interesting little piece. When they get it scanned with those darn machines over in the lab, we'll find out what it was. Gary got a hit over here, and they were starting to dig in around this tree. You can see the roots down here in the bottom where they were digging in down here, because he got a nice hit there. Well, as soon as and this is one of those areas where it's a special place, so Fiona had to come over and actually guide them a little bit on this. And she said, "Let me get my trowel." So she got her trowel out, and she's working on there, and she started pulling out things that were not metal. And I was like, "Oh, wait a minute!" And she's like, "That's what she thought too." That there were more things in this hole that was like, okay, let's stop right here, because I don't want to be digging in here and damage anything further. We need to take this methodically, the archaeological dig here on this, and do this and find out what's in here, because she found glass. She found this, and I had never heard of this other than you can see them working that spot there and starting that excavation. But this right here, Staffordshire slipware. Now,
and that's old.
Yeah, Laird knew what it was right away. He's like, "Oh, I know exactly what this is." 1675 to 1770, folks.
Yeah, I wrote those dates down quickly, so I could be off a couple of years on either end. But
they talk about lot 5 being a building that would be housing the workers that were doing all this work in the money pit. And again, for those of you who really watch this show and really get into all this stuff, you've got the money pit over there. We've proven that there was pieces down there in the ground, deep underground, way before 1795 when the money pit was discovered. Now you've got pieces of artifacts that they're finding on the island that were there 1675 to 1770.
We know that the dirt
together
found in lot 5 matches the dirt found from depth in the money pit.
Yep, exactly. And they shouldn't, because the Western drumlin and the Eastern drumlin are two different types of
material.
Soil material. Yep, exactly. So another piece of interesting, what does it tell us? Well, it tells us somebody was there 1675 to 1770 in that lot 5 area doing something. They found a lot, and they have found. Laird did tell us this when we were at the convention in September, and he said they have found so many more things than they have ever shown on the show. Hundreds more things.
And some people would say, well, that was made from 1675 to 1770. Well, yeah, and the money pit was 1795. Well, how many of those old earthenware plates do you know that are going to last longer than 100 years?
Yeah.
They're just not going to.
And the Oak Island Plus guys that y'all had on and talked to, they talk about in their recent episode, and probably with you guys too, about just how many artifacts there are, and that they've got artifacts in universities, and that there's artifacts that they found, 10 years ago that a new find today, it now suddenly that artifact is relevant. So it's it's just so important to keep going back to all those old, have access to that database of everything they found. And that's crazy just how impressive I'm sure the list is.
It is. It's crazy. And he said too, Laird had said, sitting right there with us in the chair, and he said that some of the things, it's interesting because some of the things that they have found, he thinks are more important than some of the stuff they've shown on the TV show.
Wow.
He goes, I don't know why they didn't show some of these things, because it means more to the story than some of the things that they've shown. So it makes you wonder. But again, there's your difference between production and the work on the ground, the team doing the work and the production company. I've talked about it many times till I'm exhausted about it, but two different agendas, so unfortunate, but true.
Absolutely. Well, that's life.
Yeah, that's life. Exactly. All right. So let's jump over to the money pit again. And there's Choice right there next to the TOT1 sticking out of the ground. And we saw in that one picture in August, this is way before, this is back in May, June. I would say June, probably, when they got the drill program fired up and going.
Yep.
But that caisson is gone, and it's gone before the oscillator got there to pull it out.
And if you look at that top, it's the same height as the one we looked at earlier, standing by the tent. So
I think they cut it off and put a plate over it, and it's still in the ground.
Yeah, they threw a pallet on top of it.
Yeah. Got to put a pallet.
Don't drive here.
Yeah, don't drive over here. Yep. Here's an interesting thing. They were doing J6. This is at 178 feet, and they found mud and then rock. Now, remember, they're trying to get through the bedrock and get down to the solution channel. And that's basically, they had mud, then they hit the rock. That rock, those chunks, if you look at those chunks of rock, they look very familiar, kind of like this one. Kind of like this one.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, kind of like this one. This is actually a piece of one of this drill rocks from the bedrock in the money pit.
Anhydrite, is that what that is?
Yep. And you see, I don't know if you can see, see that shiny part right there? That's some of that gypsum that he talks about on there. You can see gypsum on the top of it. So that's actually a money pit zone. But, that's how it breaks it up when it's going through there. It has these little chunks. And what do they do with them? They throw them in a bucket. 5-gallon bucket. Interesting. But yeah, so that was their whole thing. It was to get down there. So there they are getting into it. And then here's this sloppy 213 feet. Now, this is where you were talking before, Seth, talking about what is the solution channel? What's it made up of? Is it just water? Is it muddy water? Is it what? And I'm thinking, this is what you'd be wanting to see. Especially if you're getting the bottom of the solution channel, where any kind of sediment would be settled in the bottom. You're going to have a mucky, muddy, slurry mess. Right? Am I figuring that correctly? I think so. And you hear Terry Matheson when he's going through there, and you see some of that like clay, and they're digging through that clay, and he's trying to split it apart and look inside of it. And that's not what they want to find. They want to find this slurry, muddy stuff. And yes, they do take a pinpointer and go over it. Every single one they pull out of there, they go through it with a pinpointer to see if it's got any metal in it. Then they had this. This was really cool. And we showed this earlier, the results of what this was, but it got stuck in the end of the drill bed at 178 feet. I thought that was really pretty interesting. And there was a couple pieces of it. Obviously, searcher.
Yep, that's the drill shaft. Yeah.
Yep. There's another chunk of it there, 178 feet. And then they had later on 188 feet. And this was
there.
What's that?
I didn't see a picture there.
And was I?
There you go.
I was passing through these. Yeah.
Thanks, Lisa.
Lisa
in the chat said no pics.
Oh, yeah, Lisa's out there too. Yeah.
I've done that before, haven't I? Here's this slurry that I was.
I don't see any picture.
Yeah. Here's that muddy slurry stuff right here.
I can see clearly now. Yeah.
Thank you. You guys are supposed to jump on this faster.
You're on a roll. We didn't want to interrupt.
Well, yeah. Well, Jeff gets on a roll, right?
Mm.
All right. So anyway, here's that chunk of that metal sticking out of the drill bit. And there's another piece of it, 178
I mean,
feet.
that's pretty lucky, boy. When you think they brought that sonic drill down and it went bam right over top of that. That's, of course, when you think about it, when the sonic, thinking out loud, when the sonic drill hits that already existing path, it's going to follow the path of least.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's going to walk, right? It's going to follow that path of least resistance.
Yep. Path of least resistance. Absolutely. Yeah. And they were talking about when they hit, remember there was part of this drill and in this one here, H.5, 8.5, where they had gone through the bedrock into the solution channel. They said, oh, you could see the brown water coming up. Yep. We're in the solution channel. Then they hit something hard again. And then all of a sudden it turned soft again. And he's like, well, wait a minute. We were on something hard. What the heck was it? Nothing. When they looked at the spoils, there was nothing in there to indicate what that hard thing was. But can it get deflected off of it? Yes.
Deflected or pushed it out of the way?
Pushed it out of the way. So, but they are with the pinpointer looking in there, and they got some hits and little pieces of metal. They ended up pulling out some little pieces of metal. We don't know exactly what they were yet. They're going to take them over to the lab and get them looked at. But definitely came up with some little pieces of metal there. And were they pieces of metal that were from that other drill bit? I don't know.
Pretty sure they're not caisson at 188 feet.
Yeah, no. Yep. Small section of muddy. Yeah, here's where they see, and you see them getting into this thicker stuff right here. That's not what they want to find. They want to find that solution. Any treasure would have fallen to the bottom of the solution channel, and it'd be in that muck on the bottom.
Yep. The other side of that too is with the mud at the bottom. I mean, depending how long it's been sitting down there, that mud's going to compact, build up, sediment. You could have stuff encased in muck down there.
Absolutely. All right. So they didn't really do a next time, but I wanted to show this. I'm gonna play this. I don't know. Pardon me if any of you have seen this already. But at the end of the show last night, they played this like 1 minute long. I'm going to call it a whole season preview or commercial, talking about the entire season. And I thought it was excellent. And I've got to bring it up here real quick. So, but one of the things that they found coming up here, well, they have a few things that were really interesting. And I thought, man, this is crazy that these some of the things that they've discovered here. And I'm going to try to bear with me a minute while I bring this up because I had it open and I had to close it. And I want to thank Rob, RJ, from over in our Discord channel for putting this on here because this was something I was wondering about. I thought, man, I would really love to show this tonight if I get the opportunity. And sure enough, he had it there for me. He's always good with doing that kind of stuff. All right.
Yeah, Robert's a good one.
Hold on, there's a commercial. Let me try to mute it. Okay. All right. So this is when I need one of those engineer guys to do this stuff for me, right? All right. So let me remove this.
You're so good at it. You can talk, you can pull up the pictures.
Yeah, as I'm fumbling around over here. Yes. Yeah, exactly. While I'm fumbling around.
Tom and I sit here and look pretty.
Well, you guys are supposed to be adding to the show, right? You're supposed to be
we're not going to sing if that's what you're asking.
Oh, you're not going to know singing? Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I'm going to play this. Hopefully everybody can hear it. Let me give me a nod or a thumbs up. About that. Is that cool or what?
Yes. So exciting. My first thought is if that Roman coin didn't come out of the money pit, I'm going to feel so misled.
Yeah, I know. Right. And I, that's one of the things that I was kind of putting, together in here. I was trying to grab some screenshots of it. And one of the first things we saw was they were working in the money pit. And when they, how they unscrew, we all see them doing it a million times, unscrewing those pieces of the casing and all that kind of stuff. And they did. And that one piece went,
whoopsie.
They're all looking down there. Whoa. So, and
somebody
he said,
pass me the long pipe.
Yeah. And then you hear Terry Matheson say something about, whoops, sorry, wrong picture.
Yeah,
you hear Terry Matheson say something about a void.
Yeah,
we're
into the void. Yep. You think?
I would think so. If you got a piece of casing falling, yeah.
But that's
completely out of
that
there
you
like
know
that?
that's history repeating itself, right? I mean, that the other
Mhm.
guys were out there, and that's why there's still that casing down there.
Yeah.
Did the same thing happen to them?
Yeah. So whatever it was, okay. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Does history repeat itself? Another drill shaft to the bottom. Yes, indeed. So yeah, it was funny. It was it fell right off of there. That was
Hmm.
something you don't normally see. Yeah, there he is looking down there.
Yeah.
Where did he go?
The
How
boss
are we
is
gonna get
not
that
going to
back?
like this.
And it looks
The
like
other guy's
that
looking
one,
around to find out where the boss is. Look, don't tell
right.
anyone.
Yeah,
Oops.
yeah. He's like, I hope nobody's telling
Uh-oh.
that.
Drilled
Yeah.
another hole. I didn't see a thing.
Yeah, exactly. So that was yeah. So we'll find out and where they're at. We don't know exactly where they were drilling when all that took place. Here's the thing that I thought was, and this is what Seth was just mentioning. You see them working in the rock. This is all broken up, pieces of that anhydrite, and they found something in it, and you hear the little pinpointer going off. And again, is this fancy editing that Prometheus loves to do? It could be. I really hope it isn't. But you see that. You see this first, then you see this. Peter looking at it going, oh, it looks like there's something on it, right?
So here's the question there. If you back up to your other picture, see the brown mud on the top?
Yeah.
I'm presuming the brown mud is the top. Right?
Yep.
Yes.
When they put the sonic drill down through the brown mud, it went into this gypsum or whatever it is, and it took whatever little piece of metal it had from the mud down. The vibration took it down into the gypsum. That's why that's why they're pulling it out of solid rock or whatever.
Yes, I would agree. Yep.
It shattered the rock, and that piece fell in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Now remember, that's a sonic drill, so it's
vibrating. It's shattering everything.
Yeah, it's shattering everything as it goes. Yeah. That's why some pieces you get solid rock, but other times you get all this crumble.
Well, if it's soft rock like gypsum,
it's gypsum. Exactly.
See, and that's when I would sneeze and just put dust all over the camera guy. Chew. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And then you have him looking at it. He's checking it out over here. And then you have this in the picture. So you had shot. And that's so is this what
I don't know. Back up one picture, look how dirty his hands are.
I know, right? So maybe it's somebody else's hands.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think these things are all the same one thing. And like someone in the chat, Waterman was saying,
this could be a shot from after.
Yeah,
it could be Rick's hand when they gave it to Rick. Look, Rick, what we found.
So this Roman coin, based on what Waterman in the chat saying, they wouldn't have been that valuable. So this probably isn't the thing that Marty is saying is $1 billion, right?
Yeah.
So there's something else even more impressive then.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
If the Roman coin from 190 feet under the ground, I want to know where it came from.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, play this at the end of the season, and we'll see what.
Yeah, I'm curious. Yeah. Is that pretty common? Like, if anybody knows, would that have been a common thing for depositors or searchers to have in their pocket old Roman coins?
Coins. I don't know about Roman coins, but I know just coins in general.
Because they were
exchanged like any other currency, right?
They found old Chinese coin too, right, on the island?
Yes, an old cash coin.
Whatever currency they had at the time, and you put
So a sailor's pocket would have worldwide coins.
Oh yes, yep.
Yep. So if you look at this one, you can kind of see there is something here in the middle, and it's higher than the rest of it. And then you look at this picture. Is that the same one? I think it is, but I don't know.
Yeah, hard to say.
But,
it could very well be.
Yeah, it does kind of look like it could be the same coin from this picture to this picture.
Once they get that sediment or whatever you call it stuff on the top off of it.
Yep. So, yeah, is it fancy editing to put all that together, or did they find a coin that Marty then says could be worth $1 billion or whatever?
And see, that looks like one of the X-rays that they took of if that coin could still be totally looking like it does in his hand, and that's what they did with one of their machines for an X-ray.
Yeah,
that's what came up on the X-ray without removing all that crud off the top.
Right. So yeah, is that Oh, he said a chest full of these coins.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Chest full, yeah.
I missed that.
Billions. Yeah. Yeah, that's what he said. Yep.
Excellent.
Coin is worth about $1. Maybe. I don't know. But let me ask you this question. If you found this that deep and you're into the bedrock or the gypsum layer and you found this coin down there, could it have been in a searcher's pocket? Maybe. I don't know. But would it give you
No, searcher was
incentive?
down 210 feet.
Mm.
There you go.
They drilled down, but there's
Right.
no searcher down 210 feet.
So could this be leading you to the one thing? Could this be? We've had Roman coins from Michelle as a giveaways, and the coin that Steve Solomon has might be different.
Oh, absolutely.
So I don't know. I mean, that's pretty crazy, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the underneath that stone, that big boulder that's on lot 8, underneath the boulder. This is a look underneath it there. And, they put a camera or something underneath. They said something about sending a camera down there, or a snake camera down there. Is this from that snake camera? I don't know, but pretty interesting. You said it looks like gold. I don't think that's gold, but looks like gold.
It looks like it's been heated or melted or something.
Yeah, you were talking about that earlier. What?
You know, or sometimes you see them bring up these conglomerates of artifacts from under the ocean floor because everything's kind of all welded itself together over the years in the salt water. But that looks to me like there's definitely a straight edge there of some sort.
Yeah. What the heck is this?
But it almost looks like it's been subject to a lot. Like even the top of the rock is black, or the bottom of the rock is black.
Yeah.
It looks to me like it's been subject to a huge amount of heat.
That's interesting. I hadn't thought about that.
Because it looks melted together or somehow,
it
rusted
does
together or whatever. It looks too smooth. It doesn't have a gravelly texture to it.
Wow. Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. Good stuff, though. I mean, so what is that? What are they going to find? And we do see them in a picture. We do see them lifting that stone up, that boulder, to get underneath it. So I don't know. What are they going to find? We don't know. I hope it's something really good. Oh, Fiona's happy about something. Remember in that clip, they said something about
a jeweled crown.
Yeah, the crown jewel.
A crown jewel.
Oh, crown jewel. Okay.
Or something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Whatever it was, she's pretty excited about it.
I don't know.
Oh, well, I don't know. So what do you guys think? Are you yep. So what do you guys think? I mean, is this going to be I think it's going to be a good season. I think they have some very, very interesting finds that could give us more answers than ever before.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think the archaeology is going to be firing on all cylinders this season. They've seemed to have more than ever before. All these sites are just going to keep paying off. Like we've been given those hints of just the sheer number of artifacts. So I think we're just going to be inundated with amazing artifact finds, lots of little puzzle pieces to fill in the storyline. We're going to get answers in the swamp, and we're going to get to the bottom of this solution channel. Yeah. I'm excited. And it's just kind of funny that as the story really, people can roll their eyes, but as the Templars, the connection gets stronger and stronger. It's funny that it's season 13 that seems to be the season that will
lucky
hopefully,
13.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I'm pumped. I think I'm more excited for this, and of course, every season, right? But I think this is. We might not get all the treasure, but we're going to get treasure.
I think they may. I don't know. I know there's going to be some really interesting finds this year because they were very, very excited. It'll be it will be an awesome season for those who love the show.
The more they find, as Rick says, the pieces of the puzzle start to come together.
Yep, exactly. And
the
and
multi-generational thing now is a given. Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Absolute given. A few years ago, it was kind of, I don't think it just went. Well, was it the ATM for the Templars? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe so.
There's been people traveling back and forth there for 1,000 years.
Mm-hmm. The knowledge.
Yeah. Go ahead.
The knowledge of the island, you can't deny that Freemason, Templar, Rosicrucian, all the societies, there's that thread. They all seem to, everybody's got a family, a granddad who also searched on the island. It's to me, it's I love that it's the finds are really bringing to life the lore of the island.
Yep.
So Jeff, you may need to go back this and replay this for Seth at the end of the season.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Hey, sometimes I stumble into the right the right assumption.
Well, I tell you what, and somebody just put up Linda just put up a post from somebody that was there at the Oak Island convention that we had in September. Right there, thank you. Yes, and anybody that was there at this convention with us in September knows you saw with your own eyes and with your own ears, you heard them talking. Fiona and Laird and even Ian and Matt Lukeman were talking about the excitement of things that they had just found prior to and during the time that we were in the at the convention. They found some really stuff that had them excited. So anybody that's in the chat right now that was there, please tell me what you thought about that too, about the excitement level. Fiona and Laird, everybody talking about it was just nuts. How
we made our guesses on what it was too, right?
Yeah.
I think it's gonna. I was trying to go out there and think of what would be the weirdest thing I could think of, and I think maybe a burial of a person.
Yeah,
it could be.
Yeah, it could be. I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah,
some sort of ceremonial burial of a Templar knight.
Yeah, Denise said it was so sincere. Maya says, "Yep." And Denise said you could tell Laird was he really meant it. Yes. Lorraine says very sincere. But yeah, it was interesting to be right there in the room with them, talking to them, and they were like, "Oh my gosh!" And well,
if you talk to these archaeologists, they're not interested in speculation.
No.
You show it to me, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah. So it was really they were very, very excited, which got all of us excited. I know I was like, I couldn't wait to get the season started because I wanted to see, and of course, if they found it in September, we're not going to know. Yeah, it was hard for them not to tell us. It really was.
Well, yeah, we really don't know what they found because they filmed this in the middle of August, right?
Yes.
The Matty Blake thing was filmed in August.
Yes.
So we really don't know what happened after that.
Right. And the whatever was happening right around the time of the convention. So this would have been September, the second and third week of September. This is when some of the stuff was being found. They were so excited about it. And the problem with all of this is that to September, we probably won't see this air until what, March,
April, May, even
February, March, April, something like that. So we got a long time to wait.
April or May before they did the last show last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
May.
It's got to be under that big boulder, whatever it is.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
Whatever's in that mass underneath that boulder is going to tell us something.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely going to give us some answers on something. I feel very confident in that. Well, folks, I tell you what, that's what we had for you here tonight. And like I mentioned earlier, if you like the content of the show we did here for you tonight, please consider giving us a thumbs up for that. Give us a like. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel because that helps us out as well. So what do you think, Tom, Seth, any final words?
Thanks, Jan. For the
yes, thank you for the
awesome job.
Yep,
November the 11th coming up, so be sure to take a minute.
All right. So join us, folks, every Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be right here. We'll be talking about each and every episode, all 24 or 25 of them.
Or 33.
Or 33. Aiken, did you say 33? Sir Francis. Yeah. But anyway, we appreciate you all being here, and we will catch you next time right here on the J Free 906 podcast, the Freeman Files. Good night, everyone.
See ya.